that are affecting me. Rising crime, poverty, issues in my own country. But today we're talking about it. Yes, we're gonna talk about it. Ain't nobody wants to open their mouth, but we don't speak out. At the Youth Zone, searching for solutions for the issues in our nation. That's the only way we know that we can make it. It's going down. At the Youth Zone, we may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Youth Zone. So let's see, a good job, money to spend, a Loctite relationship, the latest in fashion, an on-point hairstyle, not, and perhaps good education. Are these the main priorities of today's youth? What's on their mind to achieve? What has their focus become?
Let's see. A good education, a pretty decent career, a nice family, and trendy outfits are so bad for the average girl. Is that too ambitious? Is it too unrealistic? Or is it a fantasy land?
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about me, but I think the priorities of most guys nowadays include a nice girl, a nice car, nice cash flow, a nice house, and a really nice time. Am I right? Am I right? But the big question is it wrong to want nice things, and can they negatively impact us? Can our priorities today impact our future in the long run?
Interesting points, very interesting points, and both of you actually. On today's show, we talk about the top 5 priorities of young people. What are they? Are they productive and effective?
Well, our discussion begins when we come right back. Stay close.
Food, money, BFGF relationships, social media, and like completely wasteful opportunities.
And then you have a nice Tommy belt or some brown bobo lacings will get taken from you. But you won't have no phone sheet. You don't have a pen on the first day of school. You don't have no books. You asking me for books on the first day of school? Come on.
We in trouble.
At the Youth Zone, we may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. To save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
So we're talking about the top 5 priorities of young people today. How do you feel about this issue and what's on your list? How has it affected you? And to find out exactly what you thought about this issue, our social media correspondent has this week's responses.
Thanks, guys. We're always excited to hear from you on our topic of the week. And boy, didn't we get some interesting responses. Take a look. This week's question is, in your opinion, what are the top 5 priorities of Bahamian youth? This is what you have to say. Elise says her priorities are her relationship with God, the welfare of her immediate family, her education, remaining emotionally and mentally stable, the type of person she becomes, and the impact she has on her peers. Lynn Rashay Johnson says her top 5 priorities are God, family, friends, school, and rest. Dantes Williams says his top 5 priorities are God, his family, education, perfecting his gifts, and staying focused. Lastly, Aaron Thompson says his priorities are going off to college, helping his peers, bettering himself, becoming successful, and going to heaven. So we want to hear from you. Stay tuned to our social media sites on Twitter at YouthZone242, Instagram at the YouthZone242, and Snapchat the Youth Zone. And don't forget our Facebook page, the Youth Zone. View our question of the week and send us a 20-second video of your opinion. That's our social media report for the week. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Yamil. Well, it's time to turn it up. There's still the life of the party and the
Youth with all the views.
We're talking about our TYZ panel. Hey, welcome back another week, guys. How y'all doing? So, the top 5 priorities. What are they?
For male and female, the top 5 priorities are food, money, BFGF relationships, social media, and like completely wasteful opportunities.
Okay.
Wasteful opportunities like you know, Bahamians are a bit frenzy. So when they get that close friend, they're like, okay, they'll say for instance, say if they're rich or something, they're like, oh, I don't have to go to my parents, like use up my money. I got this rich friend, they'll buy something for me. And like it's like a wasteful opportunity. They could use it for something more important.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But notice how she didn't say education. Like, I believe that the priorities of young students, not only students, but the individuals in the Bahamas, is like totally twisted. How can you expect to get money, a good job, and have a good, strong relationship with somebody if you're not smart?
Interesting. Good point.
And even when you look at the top 5 priorities of going to school, for the young man, you have to have some Urgent Gas shirts, some Tommy pants, your $145 pair of Clark shoes, your $130 Kipling bag, or your $60 Nike bag, but I ain't get the Nike bag because it's too cheap. And then you have to have a nice Tommy belt, or some brown bubble lacings we could get taken from you. But you don't have no folder sheet. You don't have a pen on the first day of school. You don't have no books. You asking me for books on the first day of school? Come on.
We in trouble. We in trouble big time.
Well, I also realize that most young people, their priorities are mixed up. Top 5 priorities of that area, that group of people are top up for their phone, data have to stay on, clothes like was mentioned, money to go out. They don't care if their parents cook. They just want money to go buy food. McDonald's, Burger King, Popeyes, the groups. The 5th one, boyfriend and girlfriend relationships.
Like the other panelist said, I think that the top priority is education. I mean, I would be in COB, right? And the daily conversation would be, boy, I can't wait to get off this rock and go to school in Canada or the US or something like that. That's what I think is the top priority.
But here's what I think is the top priority. For Bahamians, being in other people's business.
Ain't that the truth?
Being in other people's business. Because, I mean, someone, their friends having relationship problems, and you having relationship problems on your own, but you focusing on, but what if you tell them, why don't you do this? And then your relationship could turn like that. So instead of they focus on their self, one of their priorities is their other people's business.
To be in the know.
But okay, let's get real here for a moment, because
we've been fake all along.
I know, right? Like for females especially. Let's just talk about them for a moment, because you know their priorities can sometimes be misconstrued, because all they would like is to get their hair done, as you can see. They want manicures and pedicures. Like, really, you go into school? What you need manicures and pedicures
but
for?
don't you want your hair cut though?
Hey! We ain't talking about me. We talking about you.
No.
So let's just stick to the program. Let's stick to the program.
All the girls,
So
all the boys, they want their shape ups. Come on.
Well, I mean, like, my thing is, my shape up is only going to cost me about $5 or $3, but your hair's going to cost you $600. You want Remy weave? You want Brazilian weave? You want to hear it? You want to see it hang, and you want to swing it so it wouldn't fall off? Like you want expensive taste. So, I just had to throw that out there.
I think it's quite costly. But my question to you really is who do you think has the priorities out of order the most? Is it males, or is it the females?
Male.
I think it's males.
Male. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's males. It's males, and this is why. Because males are more in depth. They're more assured with their self. They have some self-awareness with their self. They're not low self-esteem. They don't have to wake up every morning and question whether or not I look good. They don't have to put on so much to say I'm attractive. They can just roll out of bed, wash their face, and go out to the world.
But why do we have 3
That's
pairs
just
of
nasty,
$150 Jordans though?
We gotta look fresh and have a plan.
I mean, I don't, but a lot of people do.
I mean, we gotta look fresh for the ladies.
Look fresh,
I
say, man.
That's my point. So while the ladies are spending $200, $300 on their hairstyle, you spend it on your foot. I mean, is it
all right,
really?
Watson, listen to this.
We don't want nobody saying what I do.
It's kind of a juicy contradiction. It's very juicy, and it's a contradiction, because we want to look good for the ladies, but we also want the ladies to look good for us. In order
What's our
to
priorities messed up?
But one of the biggest points I wanted to prove, I think we just proved it, and that is for a lot of our Bahamian young people, their priorities are somewhat superficial.
Yeah.
Because we started out talking about education. Someone said education, someone said a decent career, and then we spend the whole rest of the time in this segment talking about the hair, the clothes, and so forth. So we've just proven that our focus a lot is on the material stuff and not the real stuff that matters. And that's the issue we want to get to right after the break. Stay with us. You're in the Youth Zone.
We try our best to be on top of things. Like, we want to be in front of our peers as who, like a socialite. That's the big thing with young people. Who's the most popular? What is this one doing? Our priority is other people.
For most people who do believe in God, I feel like that should be what their first priority is, but a lot of times it isn't.
Whatever your priorities are, your life is gonna, in a way, replicate them. It's a natural thing. So whatever I value most, is my life will revolve around those things, and it should be noticeable.
At the Youth Zone, searching for solutions for the issues in our nation. That's the only way we know that we can make it. It's going down. At the Youth Zone, we may be young, but we're the next generation. Let us save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone, you are now in the Youth Zone.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the top 5 priorities of youth today. They're representing an organization that has succeeded in preparing youth for tomorrow and the business world. From Junior Achievement, welcome to the Youth Zone, Betty and Alex.
Welcome. So let's kick it off with you. You've heard a lot of the priorities here that you've heard them talk about. Do you believe that's a lot of the young people today priorities?
I agree with some, but you missed one. We try our best to be on top of things. Like, we want to be in front of our peers as who, like a socialite. That's the big thing with young people. Who's the most popular? What is this one doing? Our priority is other people. So.
Wow. And we didn't think about that, but that's reality because we get up every day almost trying to please and to become the top or the trend setter and so forth. How do you handle prioritizing? Let's say your priorities.
Well, you're asking advice from the most disorganized person, but hey, first and foremost, God is always put first. Education, that's where the moolah, the money comes from. And most importantly, my family and friends. Those are the things we should live by. And of course, I like to look good. I like my hair and makeup like the rest, but that's my priorities.
What about you, Alex?
Like Betty said, God is always first. My second priority is giving back to my family. You know, they've always been there for me, supporting me in everything I've done. I just want to give back to them. And my third one is to go into the career world not regretting my decision, like the degree I would want to take place in.
Both of you start out saying God, and I think we heard people in the panel talking about God being the first priority. And I think that's the way it should be. I think in everything you do, God ought to come first. Is that still a number one priority for young people in the Bahamas today, do you feel, in your opinion?
I feel like you can't speak for every young person because not everyone worships God, as sad as that is to say. Yeah. But for most people who do believe in God, I feel like that should be what their first priority is, but a lot of times it isn't.
What do you get from your peers? I mean, what are you getting from your peers? Is that a priority for them?
No.
I'm gonna go off and say no. I'd say for less than actually 1% of this population, God is number one priority. I think a lot of people
That's pretty low. That's pretty low, though. You think that's pretty low?
I would say so, because I think a lot of people say that because it's almost like the norm. Like, everybody says that that's the politically correct answer a lot of times. And I think when it comes to priorities, whatever your priorities are, your life is gonna, in a way, replicate them. It's a natural thing. So whatever I value most, is my life will revolve around those things, and it should be noticeable. So it doesn't really, I should look at someone's life and be able to tell what their priorities are without asking a single question. So I think, even things like, other things like education, all that stuff, really we can say that they're priorities, but when the rubber hits the road, it depends on how that person lives their life that dictates.
I totally agree, because I believe that you need to work on yourself first. You need to look at yourself and you need to see what you value as an individual first before you can actually say these are my priorities. First of all, you need to get yourself in order. You need to do a self-evaluation of yourself. You need to do a past reflection of whatever internal issues you may have first before you can actually look to God and say, he's my priority. Before you can actually say education my priority. Before you can actually say something is your priority, get yourself in order first.
I think Ben said it correctly. And I want to turn it back over to junior achievement because oftentimes the things that we say that are our priorities, we don't see the reflection in young people's lives. Like I always tell people, whatever is the main focus in our young people's lives, we will see it in our society because they make up society. And we're looking at a society where there are so many social ills. There's so much crime issues. There's so much illiteracy issues. So that tells me that illiteracy, crime, and the social ills aren't priorities to stomp out among young people because we see them struggle every day with it. What do you say?
I agree with you, but we struggle a lot with, a lot of our influence comes from our peers. In education, if you hang with the smart crew, you will reap benefits of having good studying habits. If you hang with the religious group, you will learn to focus on God. A lot of this comes from peer pressure, if you think about it. Our priorities, behaviorism is basically a part of our life, how we act from our surroundings.
And also what Mr. Watson mentioned, you may say that crime is very prevalent in today's society, right? But when most youth go ahead and say what their priorities are, it's about getting money. And when they get out of school and they go into the work and they see that I'm not getting that money that I thought I was getting, that's how all the crime is going to start. Because people are just like, okay, I need to get this fast money, I need to get this quick money. And a lot of people don't think that I need to get that education first in order to get that money. They just want it now. And when they can't get it now, that's what happens. That's what you're seeing today.
Well, I agree. The product of what we breathe, yes.
The next thing I want to point out is, though, people say God's their priority first and education's their priority first, right? But I think it's more of a show, just to say, oh yeah, these are my priorities, just to say, yeah, people see me like that. But secretly, their priorities are more shows and my friends, girlfriends, that kind of stuff. And then that's doing wrong stuff. And they're saying the stuff they want to do, that's more for the now, not for the future. So
I have a question for everyone. This is my own personal belief. I believe that for the common person, our two most important priorities subconsciously are to be successful and personal pleasure. Because personal pleasure is that we want to be happy. Everyone's key component is that they look for joy in their life. So a lot of things that you do are going to be centered around, will I get joy from this? Will I get happiness from this? And secondly, success, where you want to be looked up as the pinnacle of any area that you're in. So whether it is you're going for education, the reason you're going for education is so that you can be successful. The reason you're turning to a life of crime, really, is so that you can get money and be successful. So I think those two things, in my opinion, are the main basic priorities of everybody. They just materialize in different forms.
And they don't necessarily have to be a bad thing. You can use those same two priorities and make them good energy rather than bad energy. There's nothing wrong wanting to be the success and to be at the top of your pinnacle in whatever area you do, the pinnacle of it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to excel and to achieve. That's the drive you will need to do well in school and in sports and everything else. But it's all about channeling that energy, making it positive. Even if you talk about play, I want to feel good. That's a good thing. Everybody wants to be positive about their life, and that's not a bad thing. But when you have to go about it the wrong way to feel good, or when you're going to do things that will harm you to feel good, or when you go into areas like sex and all these things that you shouldn't be touching for a feel-good experience, that's temporary. So I think you have to find the right positive energy to channel yourself into.
Well, I totally agree with what Benji say about the two top priorities, like one being success, and how you say it drives you to become successful in sports and education. I think, for me, being successful, I like being praised, and that's what drives me in becoming successful. So say one of my priorities and help me becoming successful is being praised, because in school, I always want to be on top. I want people to notice me and to think I'm smart. When people come to me and say, oh, what do you have in life? I talking about I won't be able to call, oh, you're a smart girl, whatever, because you know where your priorities is and whatever. I like being praised, and that's what helped me being successful. So I think for some people, as their priorities, they like being rejoiced, and they like people talking about them, and that's what I think helps with success.
That's their motivation.
That's extremely big. I want to ask from Junior Achievement, what do you do as an organization to help direct the priorities of young people? How do you steer them into a proper way that they should go about living their lives?
Well, Junior Achievement is a nonprofit organization that helps high school children, but not only high school children, elementary children as well. So we start off from a younger age and bring them up to be entrepreneurs, meaning train them to go after what you want at a young age, but do it positively. Like, you don't have to go out on the streets and do things that people are doing today negatively. You could start at a young age now and train them right.
I want to give you the last word, Junior Achievement.
What I think, Junior Achievement makes dreams come true, simply. They give us scholarships that help with the praise. If they know you're a well scholar, it gives you that, because you deserve it. Junior Achievement actually gives you the building blocks to start a business, something young entrepreneurs are taking over today. It's just the key starting point in any young entrepreneur's life. That's what I think, how we assist with that. So.
Very good. Yeah, I think I encourage anybody out there, if you're not in a positive organization that's going to impact you and help you direct you to proper success, you need to join one. Like, I know Junior Achievement does great work. I just want to shout out a good friend of mine, Jonathan Pinder. He's in Junior Achievement, and he actually, because of the organization, received a scholarship to go off to school. So really, if you want to go after success and you want to go over proper priorities, I think it's important that you're in good social programs.
That's a great note to end on.
Well, we're not out of talk, but we're out of time. So let's continue the discussion on social media at our Facebook page, The Youth Zone, and Twitter page, we're at The Youth Zone 242. Or meet us on our interactive chat live at ZenNSBahamas.com.
Don't go anywhere. Your TYZ News is up next after the break.
Thank you, guys.
We may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. At the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Everybody, I'm Alexia Johnson.
And I'm Jose Etienne, and we're back, bringing you not only important but also relevant youth news. Students from the government high school were honored because of their stellar academic performance recently. The award ceremony was held on the school's premises, where the entire school body and parents gathered to put the spotlight on those students who, during both summer and Christmas terms last year, worked tirelessly to achieve their goals. According to Principal Wims, 101 students made the honor roll and 19 students made the principal's list. 10th grader Kaylin Carroll led the way with the highest GPA at 3.8.
The College of the Bahamas hosted their annual club showcase recently, and students were able to take a closer look at which clubs are active on campus. Shanae Smith has that story.
The College of the Bahamas recently held its annual club showcase. Every year, the college dedicates a day to allowing clubs established around the campus to showcase themselves in order to make students aware of their existence and to gain new members. This year was no different. A wide variety of clubs were represented, showcasing the tremendous diversity present at the college. There was the Animal Advocacy Club present, which is a group all about spreading awareness about animals and helping where they can by volunteering at shelters. There was also the Breast Cancer Awareness Club, which educates individuals about breast cancer. The United Architects Movement was also present, which is a club that builds model buildings, such as homes and even relief shelters. Pizza Hut was even present, handing out free pizzas, providing 10% discounts for COB students, and providing other goodies in order to let students know that they were now present on the island. There were many other clubs present, ensuring that it was indeed an exciting day on campus. I'm Shanae Smith for TYZ News.
We also want to hear from you if you have news regarding our phenomenal youth. Well, that, my friends, is news for this week. I'm Alexia Johnson.
And I'm Jose Etienne. Don't touch that remote.
Stay tuned for more Youth Zone after the break.
Save our nation. At the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Well, it's time to learn another language, and of course, we've been focusing on Mandarin this entire time. Tanya McFall, our language coach, is here. Tanya, hey.
大家好，我们开始吧。 Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. Let's begin. So, today we're talking about what? Priorities, all right? So, yes, we heard some very materialistic priorities, base priorities, but that's fine. That's what people like, okay? So, let's go. Ifu. Ifu. Ifu is your
Clothes.
clothes, all right?
Ifu.
For people who love shopping, like me, it's okay.
Ifu.
So, Ifu.
Ifu.
Clothing, all right? Someone mentioned Chien. Chien was?
Dog.
Money. Yeah, I know someone would remember. Money. All right. And someone talked about love. So I.
I.
Uh-huh. I. A-I.
I.
All right. So,
you.
So if you want to say I love you, 我爱你, 我爱你.
我
all right?
爱你.
爱你.
我爱你.
爱你.
我爱你. Okay, forget it.
Like, it sounds like me.
Oh, 我爱你.
Yeah, right.
我爱你.
All right.
我爱你.
So, how do we say clothes? Ifu. Uh-huh. Money.
Chien.
Yes, notice everybody remembered that part. Chien. Uh-huh. And if we said love was I. Remember? Just
我爱你.
我爱你, I love you, all right? Because of course we have Valentine's Day coming up shortly, so I'm sure some of you can use it. And I think it was Kaepernick or was it Opal who mentioned persons just want to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. So a boyfriend would be nan peng yo, and girlfriend would be new peng yo. All right. So we talked about clothes words. Ifu, uh-huh. Money was? Chien, uh-huh. We talked about boyfriend. Nan peng yo, good.
Boyfriend, yeah.
Girlfriend was? New peng yo. Love was? I, uh-huh. And one more thing. 我爱你 meant what? I love you. And that's our lesson for today. Zai Chen.
All right, thanks, Tanya. Thanks, Jen. It's about that time, Sajan. For our focus on encouraging entrepreneurship, we call it Stripes of My Own Business. And this season, we focus on Bahamas Striping Company. Take a look.
What is a Bahamian business? If it's a business operating in the Bahamas that improves some aspect of our social landscape, fuels money back into the Bahamian economy, while giving Bahamians an opportunity to develop professionally and personally, then Bahamas Striping definitely fits the bill. Formed 3 years ago by young entrepreneur and government self-starter recipient Atario Mitchell, Bahamas Striping is not just dedicated to marking roads, but committed to leaving indelible marks on the lives of young Bahamians. Youth who are not just in search of a job, but in pursuit of a career.
Well, in this particular field, this market was normally controlled by a foreign company. And once I started my company, I wrote letters to the government letting them know that I'm a Bahamian company, that this work shouldn't be given to foreigners. I'm a Bahamian, I actually employ Bahamians. The foreigner doesn't employ any Bahamian at all. So I feel that as a Bahamian, employing Bahamians, I feel that I should have first right to this job. And I wasn't like, I was successful in getting some work, but now after meeting with the Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Davis, he assured me and my company, along with other striping companies, that we will have a fair chance to get work under their administration. And so far, I have been getting a fair chance, and work you see me, what I'm doing now is actually work that was given to me through the ministry. And all they ask me to do is keep up the good standards and keep on employing Bahamians.
Maintaining a quality standard is not just lip service for Mitchell, who took an unprecedented and costly approach to employee development and training.
Mr. Mitchell and his company, I consider them very visionary. He has, over the past 6 to 9 months, I think, had brought in a UK trainer that is properly trained in striping, and the gentleman has been actively involved in embracing the UK standard and lending that assistance to his company. So they are doing that on a daily basis. I know that they're having meetings outside of their project portfolio So they are being properly trained, and I must commend him for a 3-year company spending that type of resources to bring in a consultant at this time to properly train his staff. So he has taken all the necessary steps that needs to be taken in order for his company to further advance.
Well, there's two types of striping. There's paint and there's thermoplastic, like what we doing now. That is what you see on the major highways and stuff like that. It's a more complex product. So and dealing with the highways, the markings have to be accurate. So what I did is I went and find a UK certified striper named Brian Bostock and bring him in to train me and my crew to make sure that we do the work up to the correct standards.
The work that Mr. Mitchell and his company does up to this point is personally on par. And I can say the last set of work that I've witnessed is even better than some of the work that we have seen done by their foreign counterpart.
And even though it may seem that road striping is really just striping the road, closer inspection reveals this industry is more technical than it seems.
Save our nation. At the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
What's happening in your school? What sets you apart from the rest? Well, every week we find out when we feature a different school. This week we're featuring Sierra Walker Senior High School. Please welcome T. Nicola McKay, the principal of Sierra Walker High School.
Welcome to you, and it's so great to have you guys. I always tend to have a special bias to Sierra Walker because Sierra Walker, I must say, always gives us some outstanding people for the Youth Zone every year. So let's give it up for that. And I'm happy to say formally thank you for being one of the true schools that support this program every year. And hats off to Sierra Walker for always responding and sending us outstanding young people. Congratulations to your school, Ms. McKay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, everyone knows about Night Power. I mean, Night Power, you just cannot avoid hearing about Night Power. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that stand out at Sierra Walker.
Okay, well, first of all, let me say I am proud to be the head lady knight of the great Sierra Walker Senior High School, home of the Knights and the best high school in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Home of the Knights, as I said. We offer, well, first of all, we have quality administrators, quality teachers, quality students, quality parents, and we're all in pursuit of excellence in education, academics, and in sports. We provide a wide range of programs in academics, in sports, and after-school programs. As a matter of fact, Sierra Walker can boast of having academic programs in academic science. We have nautical science. We have our pre-allied health, and we're also the magnet school for business. In addition, we have two special programs. One that deals with our at-risk students, those who are challenged with behavioral problems. And this was the brainchild of our school-based police officer, Corporal Lyndon Knowles, and he is assisted by our guidance counselor, Mr. Trajane Jadaret. And this is where we're focusing on not throwing those troubled youth out of school, but actually keeping them in school. And this is an in-school based program. So instead of dealing with punitive measures, we're trying to deal with corrective measures.
Outstanding. Now, I always tell people there's no school without the students and the teachers. Let's hear from some of you about your school and what are some of the things that stand out at Sierra Walker for you. Who's going to get the mic? Go ahead. Tell us your name.
Hello. My name is Brian Otto Baker, and I am the deputy head boy. One of the deputy head boys at the great Sierra Walker Senior High School. And the things that stand out, in my opinion, in my school is our teachers, hands down.
Wow.
Shout out to Mr. Jordan, my English language teacher and literature. Love him. They are so active. They're so intertwined with each student. They will never let you fail. I'm going to be honest with you.
Wow.
And it's like we have such a bond that they understand where we're coming from, like they've been there before, which they have, obviously. And for them to have a relation to where we are right now, give us a deeper understanding of how we can be just like them or even better. And they would love for us to be better.
See, and that's what I find amazing, because so oftentimes we hear people say, oh, you go to government school, they don't spend no time with you, the class size is a little big, they don't care. But to hear a student say that's not how it is, they spend individual time, tells us that the system is changing. And if you find the right school, you're going to get what you need, whether it's a public school or not. And I think that's outstanding, because sometimes people want to put their kids in the public school system, but they're afraid they're not going to get the kind of education or quality education. But to hear students say, no, that's not the case, that's outstanding. How are you able to achieve that?
Well, let me tell you, Clint, we are here really to dispel that notion that our children are not as good as the children in the private schools. But we have children who can stand next to those children. For the last 4 years, we can boast of really having super results. For the last 4 years, we can boast of having outstanding BGCSE results. As a matter of fact, last year, in 2014, our head girl, Butiska King, she got the outstanding performance for best performance on the BGCSE examinations in the country, I think, not in the country, but in the public schools in the country.
Awesome.
So kudos go out to Butiska King.
Now, obviously, y'all doing some big things in sports. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, well, I'm fairly new at the school. I just came in August. And I often wondered before I came to CR, how do they do it? How do they have such a strong and powerful team in all of the sports? Track and field, basketball, volleyball, because we're the champions for the volleyball this year. With, for the GSSA and the national. We also the national champion, where we beat all of the private schools, even the big powerhouse SAC.
Yeah, we don't call that name on the shows. Damn. Damn.
Yeah, and it's simple. My specialty is track and field, softball. And what I've noticed with CR Walker, they're a family. We work close in hand together. And I think that's how it works. And it also comes with putting in hard work. We're up in the morning, we're coaching, we're bringing the kids to wherever we have to do our training, and it's a collaborative thing. All of the coaches here at CR Walker, they work together. We encourage the kids. We identify the talent. Even those, there are so many of them that are not so great, but we don't just push them aside. We give them the opportunity to come in. And I think that's how we build such a strong and powerful
Awesome.
athletic.
That's awesome. I'm going to give the last word to the principal, of course. What do you want people to know about Knight City, Knight Kingdom, and CR Walker, and what's happening, especially when we see so much challenges in all of our schools with behavioral issues and with young people who are coming from homes and environments where they may not have the discipline they need? How are you addressing that?
Well, let me tell you, discipline is key, and if there's no discipline in the school, no education can take place. So we begin with that. When we talk about uniform infractions, we're very strict with those. Parents get offended and upset with us when we enforce the rules and regulations of the school, and they say to us, what does the color of his pants or wearing an off-color sweater, what does that have to do with the education? And then I say to them, school is the training ground. We have to train these children not just for the moment but for life. And if they do not learn to follow rules and regulations here in school, how are they going to follow it when they go out there? The job focuses on rules and regulations, and if persons out there who are employed cannot follow those rules and regulations, they're going to be let go very quickly. But also, as far as discipline is concerned, I think we have a very, very good thing in place at CR Walker. One of the things we have implemented is having a radio set in the hand of each administrator, in the hands of every one of our school-based police officers, our security officers. And so we have direct contact. Whenever any little altercation is about to kick up, everybody resorts to the radio, and in 1 minute, everybody converges on that spot. That's an excellent thing. In addition to that, we have our administrators monitoring our instructional program. We implemented what we call the TOR system there, T-O-R, where we go around. We're not just checking on the students, but we're looking to monitor our teachers as well to see if they're implementing the curriculum. And so when I say to my administrators, they're divided up among the different the teachers in the departments, I say to them, we go into the classroom and we're on tour. We're looking to see if the teacher has the topic on the board, the objectives, and the resource materials. And at a glance, we can look to see, then you walk in, you look quickly to see if what's in the students' books is matching what is on the board and to see if the children are operating. So we are monitoring our instructional program as well. And that's how we're making it at C.R. Walker.
Wow.
Thank you.
Congratulations and hats
Thank
off
you.
to you. Hats off to you. I am so happy that as we're talking to schools week after week, we're hearing that all that you hear really ain't what, it doesn't even cut the mustard as to what's happening in our schools. And sometimes negative news always bleeds, but when you hear about the real intense work going on in these public schools, you must really be proud that our education system is really taking our young people to the next level. So hats off to you at C.R. Walker for the outstanding work you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And can we send a shout out to all of our hardworking teachers and everybody else. We're so proud of our teachers, and I know our students are. I want Brian Nadeau to end this session with our mantra, because we are knights and we live by that code of conduct, that code of honor. Brian Nadeau.
Knights are honorable. Knights are respectful. Knights are leaders. Knights are winners. I am a knight. A C.R. Walker knight. For the beer knight. A C.R. Walker knight. It's the perfect way. It's the perfect way. More fire.
How about that? Somebody, a little birdie told me that I call them the exciting, famous C.R. Walker band is here. But after the break, we're going to hear from them. They're going to take us out. Stay close.
Yes!
Woo! It's going down at the youth zone. We may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. Oh, at the youth zone. Here to save our nation. Oh, at the youth zone. You are now in the youth zone.
Well, it's been great hanging with you. Hit us up on Twitter at YouthZone242, Facebook The Youth Zone,
or email us at theyouthzone242@ZNSBahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
That's right, and we're so happy to have you join us on the show today. We leave you now with the sounds of a band that's been making some serious waves and uproar in the music community, in the public school system. And of course, they're representing their school. We're so happy to have them here. I'm talking about the C.R. Walker Knights Band. They're going to kick us out in grand style. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. See you next week.